Maybe movies. How did he do that?
I don't know.
Before he fell out of the cupboard, he kept saying that he was Sam.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm definitely me. I'm Sam.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, is he just someone else, Sam? Or is he an earlier version or a later version of you? And have you been anyone else before?
What kind of? No, I definitely don't look like that, no.
If he's got any ID, that would tell.
Okay. Hold my popcorn. I will. Hello.
What time is it?
Time? Welcome to the Delirium, then.
Oh,
Oh, my seat. Thank you so much.
none.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Why would
Nothing's
anything
going on.
be going on?
Okay, good. Good.
Hello!
Howdy ho.
And we are here again for our Wednesday edition of Maybe Movies, and also for Act 1 of Fear and I.
Fear and I.
And I. That's the appropriate reaction. What?
We've been here too long.
It's got a glow to it.
Incandescent.
So, blah. Sorry, I got kind of slightly discombobulated there. And I haven't even started on the wine yet. Hello, yes, as always, I am Max.
I am the Sam, the one and only Sam.
The definitive article, if you will.
I'm Sam Terry too. Roman numeral 2 is how it's addressed.
Okay. But for convenience sake, we're going to call you Chris Smith.
Just so we can tell us apart.
All that?
Just in case people have any problem, difficulty.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
Is that
Okay.
acceptable?
Yeah? Yeah?
We are of one mind. Or not. Although if we were, we could probably figure a way out.
Join us. Join us.
Yeah, let's not do that. Before we launch into our Act 1, I have one very quick shout out to... It's one I haven't done for a while, and just a hello to Joshua Gould and his players from Dice and a Slice podcast.
Howdy ho, have fun.
The only 5e D&D podcast powered by baked goods.
I think that might be a valid claim.
Josh is an awesome GM. He's very kind of immersive with how he runs his game. And his team of players seem to enjoy it very much. I think they're up to episode 27.
Well, they are enjoying it then.
Yes. Yeah. So do give it a look. And with that out of the way, shall we partake in some popcorn and try and build a movie?
Yes, let's. Alright, now there's one thing I wanted to bring up before we get properly started that I think we might have missed last time.
Do you need a bucket?
No, not that kind of bringing up. But thank you for thinking of me. Because of the material of these films, we have to ask ourselves the question, who gets which drugs?
Oh, okay.
Because, Duke's got a suitcase full of drugs.
So the question is, do we think he's going to get through customs with that suitcase?
That's what I'm wondering.
See, I kind of figured whatever drugs they've got is whatever Danny has supplied.
What's the most extreme they take in the film again?
Adrenochrome.
Oh, I forgot about the adrenochrome. Yes, you can only get that in America. You can't get that in England.
Which I did wonder if you do want to at least let Dr. Gonzo have that.
I don't think the authorities would be looking for something like adrenochrome. You could actually get that through customs.
Yeah.
1960, 1971? Do they even know that adrenochrome is a drug?
So you could just say it's an ointment or something.
It's eye drops.
Medicinal.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can let him have that. But yeah, I think pretty much everything else is going to be what they can get over here.
I mean, it's not a huge difference.
You get ether.
Yeah. They'd get ether, they'd get weed, they'd get coke, they'd get LSD.
They might not have some of the more medicinal stuff.
Well, I don't know. What about the embalmer?
Yes, maybe when we get to that point,
Yes.
there's a nice little tete-a-tete that he can have with Dr. Gonzo.
You'll be able to get most of their assortment.
Yeah. Especially in the 70s?
Yeah. 60s.
Or 60s.
Yeah, because with now 69.
69 and...
71.
I'm sorry, I have to stop everything very, very quickly. I think I've been interfered with. There's something in my pocket that wasn't there.
It wasn't me.
What is it?
The mythical gold star! Bom, 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 bom.
Okay, so we actually now do have gold stars. Okay, so if I remember rightly,
Clear space.
yes,
Clear space.
from last week we had one apiece. So there's your gold star, your inaugural gold
And this
star.
is a tab, yeah?
Ooh,
When does it start to kick in?
in a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
There's yours. There is mine.
Still
We should leave
fits.
those there. So are we saying now then that it has to be a panel decision?
What, on a gold star?
Yes, or can we still have wings on top?
Yeah, it's hard to tell now.
Well, yeah, because otherwise we could fling out gold stars left, right and centre, so yeah, panel decision.
I do kind of feel like I'm in an interview now. Don't ask me where I see myself in 5
So-
years.
Mr. Rudd, is that what you wear to an interview?
I like it. I like it. He's got the job.
Yeah, he gave me a gold star. He's,
Yeah, that's
he's got a
good,
good star.
actually, well.
Yeah.
That's how you need to do it. Just walk into the interview and go, oh, lovely.
Gold star, gold star, gold.
Yeah.
Good, I should try that now.
Yeah.
It'd be a way of getting people's attention and impressing them and making them feel good as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Incentive
look lovely,
is the
good
key.
gold star. Very nice tie, sir. Gold star. Look at that haircut, sir. Gold star.
Okay, we are getting slightly distracted. But then again, we can.
Tangent alert.
Yes, we do
Was
have
that a
some
gold star?
yours popcorn.
Oh. I think the stars kicked in.
You see like a halo of stars on our drink.
There's 2 of drink now.
So, from the beginning, my initial thought was they've come to the UK to cover a story. That story's either fallen through or they've done that, and they're still bumming around in London until they go back to the States.
I partially agree with that, but counter with they are on assignment in England, doing assignments about English life, which is why they're based in London.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get a job, as was quoted in the pub scene, to go and do an article on rural life in England.
For country life, yes, I thought that might come up.
Because for American readers, that's like, oh, that's far away and
Yeah.
and long ago and all of that.
They haven't been provided with anywhere to stay to do this,
No.
hence why they need to go to Monty.
Yes. Did we agree that in some way Monty's an obscure relative of Dr. Gonzo?
Yes, we did, yeah.
Yes,
so we
we
kind
did,
of agreed on it. I mean, I very briefly just wanted to have a look at the very opening of the film. So are we going to call it Hunter S. Thompson or Raul Duke?
I'm going with Raul Duke, because even though we know it's Hunter, it's the name he uses throughout the story.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I imagine he's putting the finishing touches to an article.
Yeah.
And then goes out.
I've been awake for 60 hours.
Yes.
I need to get out.
Yeah. But I just like that scene in
What?
Greasy Spoon. To an American, it must be, again, you probably have something to say about that.
Weirdly enough, they're much more okay with finger food than we are, so sandwiches in general wouldn't bother them, but somehow an egg sandwich, especially a runny egg sandwich and things like that,
Yeah. And again, the
And-
weather as well, I think, would be something probably, because it's supposed to be winter, isn't it?
Danny says at the end of the film it's 91 days until the end of the decade. So it must be September. Or the very end of August.
Oh, that's good.
Well spotted, because the only thing, because I just thought, because Monty mentions that about Norman, he says he should be wintering with his mother in Guildford.
That's why I think it's September. It's turning into autumn.
It's the turn, yeah, of course. Okay. It would almost feel like a third world country. It almost kind of looks like you imagine sort of Eastern Europe might have looked in the 60s. Very kind of impoverished compared to what he's used to in California.
What he's used to, and also, like, from his journalistic point of view, like, you know, is this how these people live? You know, because Americans have this romantic notion, and it's all Robin Hood and Dick Whittington and
Jeeves and Wooster,
like that, and then you live there, and it's runny egg sandwiches and greasy cups of tea, and tenement buildings being knocked down.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
I like that.
Any definite first scenes that I'd like to look at?
My first scene is probably going to be the pub. I feel like that's one that's going to have a big deviation on it.
The only thing I'd say then I would throw in then with something in the sink, somewhere he's going to find a fly swatter.
Oh, of course
And
it is.
he's going to get the fly swatter.
Yes.
Hallucinating.
Very
Or-
good call.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Yes, very nice.
And yeah, when he says that we need to get out of here, I think that would be, as your attorney, I recommend that we go outside.
We're saying that Duke is constantly... Is he tripping at the time, or...
As in the film, it will go up and down.
Yeah. Is he like, hallucinating vampire bats or anything at the beginning?
I think in this case it might be rats in the kitchen.
Rats in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, of course, because there's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And there are actually rats in the kitchen as well.
Yes.
And I always got the impression that we've been awake for 60 hours and only a potato has passed my lips in that time was a speed bend or something like
Yeah,
that. I felt
reference to that, yeah.
which, after 60 hours, speed psychosis is going to start kicking in.
Yeah.
So hallucinations will be order of the day.
So I think I'm before you then, because the post-park scene is before they go to the pub. I was thinking that they've run out. Run out of drugs with whatever limited supply they had. They've only got the adrenochrome left, which they don't want to get into just yet.
They're waiting for the next check from head office.
Yeah. And
So
then
they're calming down at this point then? Or?
they are probably coming down at this point, and they're because again they're probably not used to the fact that the pubs aren't open until midday.
Yeah. I mean, I think I want to say now, because they're not on benefits, they're on assignments, that their funds are considerably more, and they're probably buying everything they can get from people like Danny. So they are coming down from quite a bit.
Yeah,
And all that's left in the cupboard is lighter fluid and antifreeze.
Which apparently that was a real thing, dude. The guy that Withnail is based on really did that. He apparently drank lighter fluid and then couldn't see for 2 days.
Something like 70% alcohol or something like that.
Lighter fluid.
Yeah.
So we don't have to replace the lighter fluid, but I didn't know whether he might try and snort from something like an alien bag of flour or something.
Oh, well, because he's so desperate, he's scraping barrel almost. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, licking out the ashtrays.
Like the remnants or whatever's left, that's actually gross.
That's grim. That's
Do
really
the nasty!
Yeah.
Do the nasty!
Who would do it, though? Would it be Duke?
I think probably Dr. Gonzo. He seems to be the one who...
Yeah, he's the guy that licks all the cocaine off the suitcase when
Yeah.
it's got blown away and things like that. And he's the one who does all of the nasty shit, really.
Well, he doesn't. He's the one out of all the characters. He's the one who doesn't care. He cares the least, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
As it goes on. So
Which would then at least still let us have the vomit on the shoes.
Yes, that's yeah.
I mean, Raul Duke is strange enough anyway that somebody's going to make a comment about him when they go to the pub. But if we still wanted to keep that trope in there, that he's had to perfume his shoes. So we go to the pub scene.
when he walks into the pub as well, is he going to be all like really strange with first impressions with people? Because every time he walks into a room,
he's very reactive, isn't he?
Yes.
If someone's right here, he's just like looking around them, and
yeah.
would he do that at the pub? Maybe. But would he, if he's calming down?
I think he'd be all right when they first get there.
Yeah.
The more paranoid he'd get, the more he'd start to.
Especially if they haven't eaten anything.
Yeah, right. This is going to play out a lot differently. I mean, for starters, small details like Ponce, fucking yank Ponce, something like that. But also, as we've just discussed, Duke is very reactive. He doesn't just stone face it. Dr. Gonzo is going to do more than just say, "What fucker said that?"
Yeah. Do we think he has a gun?
I was about to ask that question myself.
Would that be the same rules though about bringing drugs into custom, or
It's
would
about
he have
whether
a
or
gun
not.
in England?
That's the thing. I can't remember when handguns were made illegal in England.
What I'd suggest then, let's save the gun.
Would he have a knife?
Well, probably more suitable than now.
Yeah.
If I can imagine.
And there were a couple of times in Fear and Loathing when he gets his hand on a knife and starts.
Yeah. I mean, you could threaten him, the one who yells at him, Hans and all that, and he can actually go against his neck, maybe. And
Well, that's what I was.
he's a lot scarier than the guy, maybe, I don't know.
So what I reckon then would happen in this situation, that as soon as he starts doing that, because they're obviously in an Irish bar, you might start to get people kind of like, oh yeah, what's going on?
Oh
over there?
right, yeah, yes, he would. Yeah.
Just enough to force them out the door.
Wouldn't be a riot or anything like that. Or
It'd
not
just
just
be-
a bar fight.
A bunch of fellas going, I'll fucking sort you out.
Yeah.
I'll sort you out. And he'll sort you out.
I think that works.
Cool.
And then they take
Which
their
gives them a
cues
reason
from
to rush out. Yeah.
it. In both films, we have a scene in the bathroom with somebody in the bath.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's a nice parallel because in this one, then you've got a narrator in the bath, whereas in the original Fear and Loathing, it's Dr. Gonzo who's in the bath.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you've got Raul Duke in there.
Good point. Yes. Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, just as again we do this occasionally, just as a little nod, because there's random stuff all over the place. Just on the wall somewhere, there's a picture of a white rabbit.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Gold star.
I agree.
Yeah. Gold star. That's a nice callback.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the things we do is if we can find a reasonable excuse to call back to the original movies, why not?
Of course.
You can't see it, but there, trust me.
You have to do a close-up.
Should have
for
picked a
evidence.
better shirt, buddy.
Oh,
You can
buddy.
see mine, can't you? Maybe. I don't know. What do you want first? Scene pick. Have you got anything that you'd like to talk about?
It was more or less pretty much the same as what you guys have been saying anyway. I the other thing I was going to throw in is when they go to the greasy spoon is that maybe Duke actually does hallucinate the reptile bit as well, but
Oh, like a no, because
it's
there's
a
a
British
callback.
version. Yeah,
Yeah, I know,
almost
a
callback to
callback.
that. So
And that scene is like that because they're ravenous for those headlines and they're
Yeah.
eating horrible food, and it's all a bit like that.
and it almost works. That
And
the
it-
guy.
They do.
Oh.
Because I can just imagine it now when the old
Yeah.
woman is eating the egg sandwich.
Oh, no,
and
that's
like a
excellent.
lizard tongue comes
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
and she's kind of trying to
tongue.
lap up the egg.
yolk and everything. Oh yeah. Oh, that's disgusting
Beautiful.
and amazing. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's a nice callback.
And then the guy who confronts him could be like still the reptile, and that's why he's freaking out. Or
Ah, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, personally, I'm thinking my next scene wants to be Uncle Monty.
Only thing that I was going to say prior to that.
Oh, no, sorry, I changed my mind. It needs to be the Danny scene.
Okay, go ahead.
These guys are not going to turn down the embalmer.
No, they're not.
They're going to take everything that's in his bag.
We don't know how well or how long it's been since Dr. Gonzo saw Monty. Neither of them are going to do what they do, like dress up appropriate, like properly to go and see it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So they're quite happy to go there. Absolutely.
No, I can imagine
Yeah.
Dr. Gonzo does the lawyer thing, so I can imagine him turning up in a suit. And Duke turning up like Duke.
being
Yeah.
weird and everything.
Yeah.
Do you think
Oh,
that
his
they would
tits
do?
on the Obama. That worked. Sorry.
Could there be a bit though that they steal the drugs from Danny and then run away, and that's why when they go somewhere? Well, I know they go to the countryside and everything, but could it ends like they nick drugs and they take the drugs with them? Because I would have thought that'd be something that Duke or Dr. Gonzo would probably do.
I kind of assumed they had enough money to just buy them.
Just enough money,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Well, this is an American news network that sent them to England in the first place. They're sending them quite a bit of money every month,
Oh yeah,
and they've just got their check.
yeah.
That's why. But also because Danny comes back later on, and that would make that strangely.
Oh yeah,
antagonistic.
would do. Yeah.
They barter a couple of pills of the embalmer from him in return for a few drops of adrenochrome.
Dr.
Come on.
Gonzo would be totally that, like, I can do anything you can do, and I've done more.
Yes.
And unlike with Nell, he really does mean it.
Yes. And so brilliant. So Danny lifts up his glasses to show all the devastation around his eyes, and then Dr. Gonzo does the same.
Yeah.
So there's this nice kind of Mexican standoff between them.
Dropping the embalmer together like a dare.
Yeah.
Like, sitting there staring each other out before you see who freaks out first.
And then they go off to see Monty.
That's why he's so fucking dead calm all the way through the Monty meal.
Yeah.
Or Monty encounter. And it'd be Duke being the one, like, your clearly gay English uncle
Yes.
is freaking me out right now, and he's like, oh, just calm. It'll be fun.
Do we want to do the usual thing with Americans when they come to England and stick them in a mini? Because it would be appropriate for the 60s.
Well, these two characters aren't overly large, so that a trope doesn't really...
No, then...
Because it's usually large Americans in a mini is the joke.
I was thinking more, they're in the country, they'll probably just hire a car. And if they've got the money, they'd hire something nice.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, Duke has his own beat-up old car at the beginning of the movie.
Oh.
What?
Again, thinking in respective terms to what would have been popular at the time, they've probably got an Aston Martin DB5. Like James Bond's car from Goldfinger.
Oh, God, so they're just going... And he's going to have the hood down? And
Yeah.
this fucking rainstorm's going to happen? Oh. That's going to be amazing.
Meeting Monty. Similar to it does in the original,
Yes.
with Dr. Gonzo being completely straight,
Yes.
and
Or seemingly straight, at least, yeah.
and Raul Duke just being slightly
Freaked out
by
this
vegetables.
incredibly effete, very gay,
Yes.
English, yeah.
And again, just vegetables as decoration instead of flowers and all of those kind of things.
Oh, and you see, this is the thing, because this is the point of the story where they've started taking drugs.
Mhm.
And of course, we know Dr. Gonzo's taking the embalmer, and he's all calm as shit. But I'm thinking he's taken a tab or something. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's an amazing assortment of flower prints and vines and tapestries in Uncle Monty's drawing room. It would just be this night, like the bit when he's checking into the hotel and he looks down at the carpet and all the vines and roses start swarming together. Monty's living room, the floor, the print on the couches, the prints on the wall. It's got flowery vined wallpaper, rose wallpaper. It's the whole thing. Is the whole room would just start going.
Yeah.
And he'd just be.
Perfect, he's doing that, and then all of a sudden the cat lands on his lap.
Oh yes! Oh yes, that's great.
Yeah.
We get last week, a bit of Jimmy as they head off on the road,
An awesome bit of Ginny leaving London.
which is the end of Act 1.
That's the first act done and dealt with. Anything else that you want
No,
to?
I'm very satisfied.
You happy
Yeah.
with that? Cool. Okay, so we will call a pause here. Hopefully
Indeed.
we won't be paused ourselves.
Please, no more, please.
I think he's had enough. That's all.
Okay, sorry.
You bastards.
So, as always, we will be back on Friday. As I said at the beginning, please do go and check out Dice and a Slice podcast. It is awesome. And have a lovely couple of days. Hopefully we'll have some nice weather. Well, you will. We won't. We just have peace. And until then, take care.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Ba 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 ba.